Zoom meeting for Tuesday, December 15th. I am the Lancaster County Board Chair, Sean Flowerday. With me is Commissioner and Vice Chair Rick Vest and Commissioners Roma Amundsen, Commissioner Deb Shore, and Commissioner Krista Yoakum. This meeting is subject to the Open Meetings Act. Oh, I don't have to do that on Tuesdays. That's just for the staff meeting. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Clerk, please begin.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available at the front of the room. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item 100 minutes. Approve of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, December 8th, 2020.
I will move approval.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We've had a silent second several times.
Right.
I couldn't hear who made the motion or who made the second.
Commissioner Shore made the motion. Commissioner Yoakum made the seconds. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 2, claims. 2A is amendment of payroll claims report previously approved on December 8, 2020. The amendment decreases the total employer payroll costs by $4,044.79.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Commissioners. This is Kevin. Just real quick, we just wanted to walk through exactly what this is. When we generate payroll, we, a lot of times by the time that the board meets on Tuesday morning, we're still in the process of calculating payroll. And some of those calculations that happen after the board meeting does have an impact on gross pay. And so we end up from time to time, we're probably going to have to do these true up amendments to actually get the amount that we truly do pay out to be reflected in your minutes. So that's in essence what this amendment is.
Kevin, is this different than the normal amendments we've been doing for, I don't know, several months now? I feel like this process has been
Under our Tesorex system, payroll basically generated Monday night. And so we could generate a report yet Monday evening, early Tuesday morning that gave you the actual payroll numbers that didn't fluctuate.
I get all that. My question is though, like for several months, we've been doing these amendments every other week for payroll. This isn't different, right?
This is different because this is not a pay week. We don't have a payday this week.
Got it.
This is amending last week's report that you approved.
Simple.
I will move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Dan, maybe it's just me, but I'm having a real hard time hearing you.
Same on my end.
Okay.
I'll speak louder. Does that help?
Yes, it does.
Next is approval of all claims processed through December 15th, 2020.
Move approval of the claims.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 are consent items. These are routine business items that are expected to be adopted without dissent. Any individual item may be removed for special discussion and consideration by a commissioner or by any member of the public without prior notice. Unless there's an exception, these items will be approved as one. With a single vote of the Board of Commissioners, these items are approval of utility permit number 2054, allowing Windstream Nebraska LLC to install a communication line along North 112th Street. There will be no cost to the county. Amendment to County Contract C-17-220 with 3M Company for annual supply reflective sign sheeting. Right-of-way contract with Alan P. and Phyllis A. Stone, Pioneer Boulevard and South 148th Street in the amount of $404. Receive and place on file the Records and Information Management Report for November 2020.
Move approval of the consent items?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 4 is new business. 4A is a resolution, a matter of designating banks as depositories for Lancaster County for 2021.
Move approval?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I looked through this list and it appears to me, and I'm assuming these are all locally owned banks that are using banks that are invested in our community. Not that bigger ones might not be, but I guess the locally owned ones have a special place for me. And I don't know who would answer that.
It's probably a question for Dennis, I would think. But yes, it does look like they are primarily local banks.
That's what I saw. I'll follow up on that.
So, any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum, Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. B is an addendum to the 2019-2021 bargaining agreement between Lancaster County and Fraternal Order of Police Lodge Number 77 under County Contract C-19-713 to amend Article 19 and Article 30 for a temporary period of time.
I will move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. C is a request for an exceptional circumstance award under Personnel Rule 17-9 Bracket B for a $500 award to Karen Wedding, Clerk Typist 2.
We have anyone here to speak on this, or?
Karen, I
Yes.
think, is speaking.
Yes, Commissioner. I wasn't sure if I needed a go-ahead or something there, but
You're good. All
this
good.
is Karen Wobig at the Lancaster County Extension Office. And as with all of your offices and personnel as well, it was a tough year this year. And, you know, lots and lots of people stepped up to the plate, but we did have one employee, and she is on with us today, Karen Wedding, who really extra stepped up and was able to help in numerous ways that were basically beyond her job description. And we just really leaned on her for a number of things, and she produced, and it was just extremely helpful. And so we wanted to somehow, you know, acknowledge her work that she has done this year. extra. And so Jenny DeBoer is her immediate supervisor, and she is on this morning. And I was, if we have an opportunity here, I'd like her to speak for a moment and maybe read the award nomination.
Sure. Thank you, Karen. Karen Wedding has worked for County Extension for over 23 years. So since 1997, and before that, worked for other county offices. So she's been a longtime government employee for us and worked hard throughout all those years. She continues to go above and beyond, and this year was definitely, an exceptional year. We want to recognize her for this and for the extra work she has done over the last several months during the pandemic. So I'll read a little write-up here. And Karen has stepped up to help others and spread her work time to do what is best for the office in many different capacities. She worked both in the office and remotely without complaint and still maintained a high level of productivity. She has been willing to do whatever is necessary to get a job done, even if that meant going beyond her typical work duties. And more specifically, Karen has been instrumental in getting our Nevline newsletter completed this year and offered to take on an increased responsibility designing pages and completing issues as other staff were faced with unplanned leave and competing duties. So when others couldn't do it, she stepped up without hesitation. We would not have been able to produce certain issues without her, and she has also gone above and beyond to assist the Extension Learning Child team by designing brochures, handouts, training manuals, and story guides, and completed office projects for a variety of staff. Her work enabled the Learning Child team to reach over 2,500 childcare providers who needed professional development hours this year. Karen has also had to reconfigure our conference rooms layout to accommodate social distancing and worked with agencies and other departments to adhere to health directives. She is creative, detail-oriented, knowledgeable, and dedicated, and has tremendous ingenuity. She has been a go-to person for many projects that have been imperative to our mission and an office guru on machines and creative tasks. People know that Karen is the one to go to figure things out, and she definitely does around the office. We can count on Karen, and we truly appreciate all she does for our office, and we feel she is highly deserving of this award.
So with that, we ask for your possible approval of this.
Absolutely. Sounds very well deserved. Commissioner Amundson.
Yeah, I just was going to say, it certainly does. Well, I think that, Sean, you just took the words right out of my mouth. You are definitely the go-to person, and you have enabled the work of the department to move forward through this. And so, absolutely, I do believe that this is very well deserved, and I would move that we provide that $500 as a special award.
I would second.
And if
Okay.
I could just add a comment, Karen, you are one of those faces that's been around county government for a long time. So it's nice to see you receive this recognition. And what a high praise to be the office guru. So obviously that means you're an expert in a lot of different things. So congratulations.
That's just how they volunteer her for extra jobs.
Yeah, I would just say in these times, it's more important than ever that we are taking care of the generations that are behind us. And Karen, thank you for continuing these important services that need to be out there for care providers. So all of us need people like you at our teams. It sounds like Karen Wobig is very fortunate, and Jenny are very fortunate to have you. So thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
D is a recommendation from the purchasing agent and sheriff's office to award and execute a sole source purchase order for computers to to Fast Forensics. The total amount of the order is $52,840.
Move approval?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4E is a recommendation from the purchasing agent and sheriff's office to award and execute a purchase order for equipment and software to Faro. The total amount of the order is $96,736.94.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. F is welcoming network membership commitment form.
Take it away.
Sarah, did you want to speak to this? Okay, so this is along with the Gateways for Growth grant. This is part of that. There is no cost to us this year. Now, next year, if we want to renew, it would be, I think it's a $1,500 or so cost. But this time there is no cost. This gives us access to technical assistance for Welcoming America. It gets a couple of registrations to their national conference, which I believe will be virtual again in the spring. And so, yeah, with no cost to us, it's only a benefit, and it just builds on some of the other race and equity work that we're doing and connect the connections with New Americans Task Force.
I would move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. G is approval of Keno Human Services Prevention Fund 2021 recommendations.
Good morning. Sarah Hoyle, Director of Lincoln Lancaster Human Services. The Keno funds, as you know, are 5% of overall Keno revenue from the city and the county. The city administers the Keno funds, so you won't see these contracts coming in front of you. They'll run through the city process instead. This went in front of the council yesterday, so it is before you this morning. The Keno committee, these are recommendations from your Keno committee, which has Commissioner Vest on it from the county board. And then there's a city council member, and there's 3 appointees from both the city and the county. We had over 38 applications this year for over $500,000, of which you can see we were able to fund 26 for a total of $225,000. These are mini grants, but they may be mini, but they're mighty, in that they provide a lot of essential services for prevention and early intervention in our community. And Commissioner Vest, would you like to add anything? You're on the committee.
I appreciate that, Sarah. And yes, a couple of things. First of all, we saw numerous great potential programs put in front of us this year, and it was a very challenging process to whittle it down to this list. Like so many things that we do, we had to say no to a lot of programs we would have liked to see supported. But I think this list represents the committee's best choices at picking out the most important ones. And I would just commend Sarah. I just want to say this is a difficult process, and Sarah does a really nice job of being calm and moving the ball forward, making sure everybody gets heard, and that a consensus decision does happen. And that's what this list represents.
Sarah, you're a real leader.
Thank you. It takes a village of all of us, right?
It does. I would move
Sarah,
approval.
is there any unique or program you'd like to highlight? There's one that looks new to me, but I guess I just want to know if there's any particular one or two you'd want to highlight.
Absolutely. So we did have a couple new ones at the table this year. Untapped Potential is one that is new, and that one is looking at how to constructively teach our youth to advocate on behalf of themselves. So it's predominantly working with minority youth. They were going through different sentencing of individuals based on race and ethnicity. And their first project is then visiting with judges about why it looks different to them, what could be behind some of their decisions. And then they were looking at voting registration in booths, and then they were going to start talking to the schools. So I know that they'll bring them at some point to attend a city council meeting and a county board meeting, just to kind of get them introduced to government, and again, how they can speak on behalf of themselves for government purposes. So that's one of them. And then the other one I'm looking through here, Yazda, the Yazidi Cultural Center, is new to this pot of money. So it's exciting to have them at the table since we have one of the largest actually, population of Yazidis coming to our community. It's important, I think, that we support them through their efforts. And then there's Visionary Youth is also new. And Visionary Youth is mentoring kids, predominantly minority youth, pulling in mentors to help them. So
Thank you.
I would move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
You're on mute.
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. H is information exchange agreement between the Social Security Administration and Lancaster County General Assistance.
And this is an agreement that we have with Social Security Administration so that we can continue to seek reimbursement for general assistance clients who have medical claims that we've paid, and then they are found eligible for Medicaid.
I would move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4I is a contract with LeGrand Excavating, Inc. to provide snow and ice removal, County Corrections Facility.
Anyone here to speak on this? Okay.
I will move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Shore,
She said yes, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. J is a recommendation of purchasing agent and county engineer to award and execute a contract to Peterson Construction for North 14th Street culvert replacement, Arbor Road to Waverly Road, in amount not to exceed $458,311.20.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. Peterson Construction is new to us. We've checked the references, and I have personally talked to him, and so this particular bid came in under estimate. We had a lot of interest, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And so, as you can see, this is for, and some people are going to say, oh, Pam, 14th Street again. Well, we really had a lot of work to do on 14th Street. And so this is the last of the pipe crossings that really need to be completed on North 14th Street in order to stabilize this paved section, probably for the next 100 years. And so we're glad to bring this forward, and this will wrap up our North 14th Street project, and we can pick another paved road to make more resilient for the county in the future. So we're excited to wrap this one up.
I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. K is a recommendation from the purchasing agent and county engineer to award and execute a contract to Peterson Construction for the repair of County Bridge H207 in an amount not to exceed $209,792.28.
Okay, I'm doing the Lancaster County engineer. So H207 is the last major crossing that the county has over Salt Creek. I'm going to share my screen. As you look to the right of the screen, you'll see 162nd Street, followed by Raymond Road. And indeed, as I'm circling with the mouse, you notice that the floodplain is a mile wide, just north of Waverly, actually, in several locations. So in the flood of 2015, FEMA assisted us with stabilizing the south side of the bridge. They did not assist us with stabilizing the north side of the bridge. We do still need to stabilize the north side of the bridge, and so this project will stabilize the north side of the bridge. Peterson Construction is also the low bidder on this job, and so as I stated in the previous item, we did check their references, and I did personally talk to them, so I am bringing forward a recommendation to award this contract to Peterson Construction.
I move approval.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4L are documents regarding the issuance of bonds by the county for the benefit of Tabitha Inc. This includes bond of indenture, loan agreement, tax compliance agreement, county closing certificate, and authentication order.
I move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 5, update on COVID-19 and Lancaster County response.
Anyone have anything on the COVID-19 update? I don't. Okay, let's move down to
Number
item number
6
6.
is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business, not on agenda, may do so at this time.
Anyone here to speak? I can't see the chamber.
Nobody here,
Anyone in
so
there?
move on to announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting via Zoom on Tuesday, December 15, 2020, immediately following the Board of Equalization meeting. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will be adjourned from Monday, December 21st, 2020 through Monday, January 4th, 2021. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold its next regular meeting via Zoom on Tuesday, January 5th, 2021 at 9 a.m. with the Board of Equalization immediately following. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commission@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live on Link TV. City, for the rebroadcast schedule, visit lincoln.ne.gov. Meetings are also streamed live on Link TV and can be viewed on YouTube.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, we are adjourned. We will now turn around and convene the Lancaster County Board of Equalization Zoom meeting for Tuesday, December 15th.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available in room 112. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approval of minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, December 1st, 2020.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 2 are additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
Move approval of the additions and deductions.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 3, appeal of disqualification from special valuation for the following. 3A is the Malone Family Revocable Trust.
Derek Klein here with Chico Deputy with Lancaster County Assessor's Office. And just give a little background, there's 3 Greenbelt denials up for discussion today. The first, the Malone Family Trust, we recommend that it does not continue its status as Greenbelt and receive special value because it doesn't meet the qualifications as agricultural land. There's another property, the Gurkov property, for the same reasons we recommend that does not continue its status as Greenbelt for the same reasons. And then there's a Greason property that has provided additional information, a Schedule F, along with information that demonstrates its ag use, and we recommend commissioners that property continues its status as special valuation.
So you recommend B continues its status as Greenbelt and A and C
For
are
C,
disqualified.
we have somebody here to speak.
Right. I'm just trying to
That is-
understand the staff recommendation.
Yes, that is correct, Commissioner. That's our recommendation.
Okay. Let's just start out with A then. Is there anyone here to speak on A? The Malone Family Revocable Trust? Yeah.
I understand the recommendation from the county assessor's office. They did note that it would have been beneficial had the legislature included a grace period for counties. And I think that's something that we should keep in the back of our mind because we do run into these situations all the time. So when we're working with our lobbyists and monitoring, and it's a NACO issue as well, things like this that directly impact taxpayers, there really should be a grace period or a notification process. Mr. I guess Ms. Malone raises a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people, the legislature kind of created an artificial cliff that a lot of people suddenly fell off, and it's going to hurt some folks. Okay, so is anyone here to speak on A? Doesn't sound like it. Is there any further discussion on A? Is anyone here to speak on B, Ward and Jean Greason? Any discussion from the commissioners? Okay. Mr. Clerk, you said that someone was here to speak on item C.
Yes, Mr. Gavrikov is here. Come on.
Can you show a picture of the property? Is it possible to do it, or?
Just a second here. We'll get you fixed up here.
Thanks for the opportunity to explain my situation. Basically, we purchased this property about 4 years ago. Several families chipped the money together so we can buy this property. But specifically, we're looking for property with a commercial zoning or agricultural, horticultural zoning, with the one intent to raise domestic animals such as goats and lambs, and that's what we've been doing until the COVID struck. I received a letter basically stating that I will be excluded from agricultural zoning. I'm not really sure what the final zoning is going to be. That's first. And second, pretty much if we change the zoning of my property, I have neighbors on both sides. They all have same zoning like me. They're operating businesses through those from the property. On one side, I have a lady. She has a business. I believe her name is Cindy. On the other side, I have a guy. He's doing the trucking. The trucks always parks there, and they're operating businesses also. Railroad guys were working on railroad tracks, so train will start rolling pretty soon on that track also. And I really asking if we can basically keep the same thing, same zoning as it was before. I think that's it. I don't operate official business from that property. I mean, I don't file taxes. It's strictly for food. It's a food source, basically. So if it's possible, I would like to keep the same zoning for my property, if or commercial. Otherwise, it makes my property or even my barn for the animals becomes obsolete.
Yeah.
And the usage of the property, I don't know what's going to be final then.
Unfortunately, I think, and please, county attorney staff or county assessor staff, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the legislature has kind of tied our hands on this. Yeah. That if it's not being used specifically for commercial agriculture, not just, sustenance agriculture for your personal family, but that if it's not being used for commercial agriculture, we can't give this over. Is that right?
Yes, but I did just want to make clear, zoning is a complete separate issue from this. So this decision for the Greenbelt has no impact on his zoning district. He'll still be ag or commercial, whatever he is. I'm assuming ag. Your decision today won't have any impact on that.
So you're saying if it will have zero impact on what's the final zoning going to be of my property? I'm just curious. If it's agriculture, horticultural right now, what's the final zoning is going to be?
You said your property's agricultural right now?
Yes.
It'll stay agricultural. This decision doesn't have anything to do with that. It's just for the Greenbelt exception.
Mm-hmm. And that means that he can still raise animals there?
Yeah. His property zoning it has no impact today. It'll stay agricultural.
Right. Just wanted to make that clear to him so that he understands that he can still continue raising animals for personal sustenance.
Thanks for clarifying that. Is there any way? So, what kind of effect will it have if it changes? What's the purpose of the change if nothing changes?
Well,
The purpose of the change is you'll no longer be receiving a special valuation, your property will be valued at its full market value.
But all my neighbors still being evaluated as same as me. So all the neighbors will stay the same, and only me will change. Is that the correct statement or no?
In your immediate area, your property is the only property that had been receiving special valuation. So your property will be valued on the same basis as neighboring properties going forward.
I think that's what was happening before this change.
I think maybe if it's helpful, we're talking two different things here. We're talking valuation for property tax purposes.
Yes.
And then the other thing is the zoning. And that really has to do with the use of the land. You were the only one receiving greenbelt or special status for property tax purposes. Your neighbors were not, but I'm assuming that you will retain your ag residential valuation, as will your neighbors retain their current zoning. We're not making any changes with that.
Okay. Once again, I'm asking if it's possible to keep it the same way. Just, I'm sure there'll be some kind of changes, monetary change or some kind of change. I will see it down the road. I mean, I'm sure it's not just.
Sure. Okay. The clerk staff has asked that we take separate motions on these three. Is there any further discussion on item 3C? Do I have a motion for item 3A?
I move that we uphold the change from Greenbelt evaluation for the Malone family revocable trust.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay.
I
Next
move
is
that we rescind the disqualification on the Ward and Jean Grayson property and maintain Greenbelt evaluation.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
And I move on item C that we do disqualify the property from special Greenbelt valuation.
Second.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Okay. I would ask that can the county assessor's staff please follow up with Mr. Gavorkov? I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name. And just try to go through with him so that he understands the differences in what's happening right here.
Yes, we'll make that call today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Don't want to leave him hanging. So, okay. So then we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 4, a public hearing. This is for motor vehicle tax exemption applications. This includes Great Plains Annual Conference of the United Methodist, Madonna Rehab Hospital, Catholic Social Services, Grace Lutheran Church, College View Academy, Cedars Youth Services, Tabitha Inc., and Mosaic.
Okay, we will go ahead and open up the public hearing on the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Is there anyone here to speak? Mr. Clerk, is there anyone there? I cannot see.
No, there is not.
Okay, then we will go ahead and close the motor vehicle tax exemption application public hearing.
Next is number 5, action on motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
I move approval of the motor vehicle tax exemptions.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. And there's nobody here for public comment.
Then we can move on to the final items.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for adjournment. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes,
Motion carries 5-0.
we are adjourned. Okay, Jamie.